to episode 5 of Untying Knots. I'm Lyndon.
And I'm Angelica.
And this episode is Untying the Knot of Infidelity. We got to talk about cheating. We got to talk about unfaithfulness.
Yes, I'm excited. This is a good one.
We got to get into it. There's a lot to unpack here.
For sure.
Do you believe that black men cheat?
Of course.
Well, stop playing.
Of course. Of course they do.
It's an all men thing?
No, women are the best cheaters. That's for sure.
Women are the most frequent cheaters.
Frequent and the best kept ones.
They don't get caught.
We don't get
That's
caught.
That's the thing. They're organized.
We are organized.
Guys don't care. Like, it's too messy.
You know, you got to go get the cash out and then not put anything on any credit cards. I got you.
You sound like you've done this before.
I have cheated, yeah. I have a great cheating story.
Look at you. Let's save that. We're going to get into our cheating stories. Listen, cheating and infidelity is a serious knot to untie. I mean, it causes a lot of problems in relationships, obviously, but realistically, people don't just wake up and cheat. So we really want to get into some of the reasoning, some of the emotional shifts that happen that lead to infidelity, how to navigate it, talking about the art of forgiveness, and also how do we glow up after we've been a victim or an offender of cheating.
Yes. And what may be cheating for you may not be cheating for your partner. So needs, wants, and expectations around cheating need to be discussed.
Of course. And the different types of cheating.
Yes.
There's different layers to this. So let's get into it. For you, you said that, you have cheated before.
I have.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Of course.
Which felt worse?
Obviously
guilt?
Being cheated on.
Really?
Yeah. Because for me, there was really no guilt because I ended it right after it happened. Okay. I didn't let it linger.
Okay.
But I didn't tell him the whole truth until the book came out.
Why did you withhold the truth?
Because I didn't want to hurt him.
Okay.
I didn't want to hurt him. And I didn't... Also, he was violent, so I didn't want to kind of set him off if I told him. I mean, I never told him. He found out later. He found out like 10 years later.
Yeah. So let's kind of get into it. Like, what led you to step outside of your relationship and entertain, another
other person?
Man? Yeah.
Really, it was, okay, so I moved to Houston in 2008 with a boyfriend.
Okay.
I bought the house. I furnished the house. And he couldn't get a job. So for like 2-3 months, I was holding it down financially, like mortgage, 2 car notes, everything. He went through his savings like in no time. And he couldn't get a job in Houston. So me as a woman, I fell out of love with him. I was like, this is not a man. This is a child that I'm supporting, essentially. And I would go to work. I was working for the Bureau at the time. So I was in a new position. I was interrogating. I was hella stressed. So I would leave work. I would come home and he was still sitting in the same spot that I left him playing video games. Like, did you cook something? Did you go look for jobs? Did you do anything? And he was like, no. So I felt like he got comfortable. So
it wasn't the fact that he was out of work and not making money. It was the fact that he wasn't working towards something else.
Like he was comfortable.
He was lazy.
Yeah, he was like, she got me. And I'm like, until when am I going to get you?
And so then he started to become unattractive to you. So then kind of like, what are you thinking next? Like, okay, you don't look at him the same right now.
Yeah.
So then what shifted to get you to look elsewhere?
So I was brand new in Houston. Only my parents were here. I didn't know anybody. I had no friends. So I got a gym membership at Lifetime. Shout out to Lifetime Sugarland.
Man, the gym is a crazy place.
Yeah. And so, I met my first friend there. I met one of the trainers there. I started training with her because I needed that kind of outlet. Let me come train. Let me come be physical and be here. And of course, there was a chocolate Michelangelo, like I like to say it in the book. Keep in mind, I was 26 and he was my age. He was 42 at the time. He didn't look 42. But, one thing leads to another. We were like, hey, what's up? How are workouts? How are you doing? Mm-hmm. First you start talking about workouts.
Of course.
Then you start talking about, hey, what's going on at home? And then, it gets to a deeper level. So there was an emotional connection that was built first based on a physical attraction. And I think a lot of men don't realize that women just don't go out there and fuck. Like, we actually go out there and build emotional connections with people that we're going to cheat with, at least in my scenario. And I was young. I was 26.
Yeah.
So I was very young. And not that it was an excuse, but having that person there that, oh yeah, he gets on my nerves. Oh yeah, he can't get a job. Yeah, I'm paying for everything. And of course he's listening and he's saying things like, oh, that would never happen with me, because I'm grown and I got my own money and, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So my boyfriend at the time finally got a job, but it was already too late. Like I was already checked out of the relationship.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I think a lot of men don't understand is we check out. We emotionally check out. We're physically there, but we emotionally check out. And when a woman emotionally checks out, you've lost her. Like she's gone now. She's just a shell now. And he left to training. He finally got a job and went to Dallas, I think, for the weekend. And that was it. Like I just needed him gone. And then that weekend, I slept with the trainer.
So it was pretty much emotionally you drifted from him.
Yes.
You put yourself in an emotionally vulnerable position, opening up to somebody else. And then opportunity
presented itself where he left so that it was a whole weekend that he wasn't around. Yeah. We lived together, so he was gone. I didn't cheat in my house because, of course, there's a level of respect, even though I was paying all them damn bills.
Way to be respectful.
Way to be respectful, right? But it happened at his house. But karma, right? I do believe in karma. So we had sex, the condom broke, and I got pregnant. The plan B did not work.
Stop it.
Yeah, I got pregnant. It's all in the book, by the way. So I talk about it in the book.
Not you getting pregnant on whole activity.
Yes. And look, I was 26, he was 42. And I remember when I got pregnant, I found out that I had gotten pregnant after I had ended my relationship. So
with the trainer.
No.
With
because it happened over the weekend. So obviously I didn't know I was pregnant because you have to miss your period, right?
Right.
So I took a plan B because the condom broke, trying to be, supportive of this whole situation, but also responsible as a 26-year-old, right?
Of course.
And contraception, guys. So anyway, he leaves. So this happened like on a Friday night. He comes back like Sunday. And that Sunday, I tell him, hey, this isn't working out. We need to end things. And he was like, lost his shit and was like punching walls and everything. And then I was like, all right, like you need to get your stuff and you need to leave. Like this relationship is over.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything because I didn't know. I didn't say I cheated, but I was like, hey, this relationship is over. And he was like, is it someone else? I wasn't leaving him for the trainer. Like, let's not make that clear. I wasn't leaving him for another guy because I didn't even want to be with the trainer either.
Yeah.
He was like my escape from what I had going on at home. Mm-hmm. My intention of being with the trainer was not that I was going to be with him and like build a future with him. That just didn't make any sense to me. But I did. Obviously, I got pregnant and I found out I was pregnant, but my living boyfriend was already gone when I found out. So there was no reason for me to be like, oh, by the way, I got knocked up, So
then, okay, so the condom breaks, you take the plan B. Plan B did his job?
No, it didn't do his job because I still got pregnant. Yeah. So I find out I'm pregnant.
Okay.
I call him up. And I'm like, yo, I'm pregnant. And he's like, there's no way you took a plan B. And I'm like, here's the proof. So then he already had 2 kids. Keep in mind, he was divorced and he was my age. Karma, right? He was 42, divorced with 2 kids. I was 26. And he says to me, I'll never forget, he's like, I will help you raise the baby. He's like, I won't marry you, but we could raise the baby together and I'll support you in raising this child. And I was like, no, I can't. I'm like 26. I just got an interrogator position. I just moved to Houston. My career was like on the rise. And so I decided to abort the baby.
Man, so how did that make you feel? I mean, was that another layer of, complexity?
Oh, it made me feel like shit because financially I could have raised the baby and I did. And he, the father, wanted to raise the baby as well. He actually wanted me to keep it.
Yeah.
But he was supportive of whatever decision I would make.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm 26. But after it happened, I remember he wanted to start a relationship. And I was like, no, like we got rid of this child, we're done. But it was also, then I started thinking like, man, I need to be more careful. But like, how more careful can you be? Right. So.
Wow. Yo,
Yeah.
crazy cheating story.
It is a crazy cheating story.
Full circle like that. Not you getting pregnant though.
But I do put it out because I know there's a lot of women that feel some type of way about abortions and also feel some type of way about losing children. I was on both ends of the spectrum. I lost a child and I aborted a child. And I talk about it in my book, Through These Brown Eyes. So go get it. It's on Amazon. But I talk about it because I want to be a voice for other women that we do cheat and we do go through hell and back. And not to justify the cheating, but it does start with an emotional disconnect from your current partner.
I agree. I appreciate you sharing
for women.
That. No, that's really real. That's very honest. I could say the same thing in my situation, is that it started with an emotional disconnect. And for me, I had looked at my wife differently. I had lost respect for her. And I didn't look at her the same. Similar how you said, like, he was being lazy at a time he needed to perform, and you just start to see him differently. Yeah. I just think, like, people don't wake up and just cheat. They don't. It's not just like, oh, you have all these options and social media and all these beautiful women, and you just pick a beautiful girl and just like,
go for it.
Go fuck her. It doesn't work like that. So for me, it was an emotional drift because I lost respect for my wife. Not like I didn't lose love for her. I just lost respect. And then over time, as our relationship grew more and more toxic, like yourself, opportunity found me when I was emotionally vulnerable. I got laid off from my job. I needed help from my wife. I felt like she wasn't supportive. I felt like she wasn't helping me. I felt like she abandoned me at that time. And this isn't an excuse. It's just my justification.
But this is really good for women to listen to a guy's perspective. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of women are like, what a dick. He cheated on me. But then you don't hear his story. So this is good.
Yeah. And like I said, like I needed her emotionally at a time of losing my job. And I felt like she abandoned me and didn't help me how I needed to be helped in that season. So there was that emotional disconnect as well. Fast forward, I get the job offer in Houston, okay? And so the company was kind of a startup, but I needed to come and make sure that, the checks were hitting the account right, that I could come and find a house for us and make sure everything was cool.
Yeah, laying the ground.
Exactly. Yeah. So my family stayed back home in Indiana. I came out to Houston solo dolo. Now, I had never been to Houston before in my life. Okay, so I didn't know the Latin mommies was out here like this.
Right.
So we
out here hard.
It just so happened to be I'm at my hotel. I'm working out. I got my shirt off. I got a good sweat going. And this Colombian chick.
And this is before the glow up.
This is before the glow up.
So you weren't looking as tight and as big as now.
No, I had probably been working out like a year at that point. Like I probably hadn't hit my first transformation, my body transformation. So nonetheless, she walks in. I'm like, damn. And I had a little conversation with her. We chit chat. And I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is fine. And so I ended up talking to her some more. And I asked for her number. And she's like, aren't you married? Because I had my wedding ring on.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, it's complicated.
Of course it is.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry. This is about me and you. We ain't talking about her.
Oh my God.
So and my family was like my wallpaper on my phone. So when I put her number in, like she sees a family picture. Oh. But she gave me the number nonetheless, okay? I call my brother. I tell my brother what happened. He's like, L, I know that you're in a rough season in your marriage, things aren't right, but I'm telling you, bro, nothing good is going to come out of this. I'm like, yeah, I hear you. I text old girl. I'm like, what's up, boo?
Let's get together.
What you on?
Oh
you free tonight? What we on?
Yeah.
And and so for me, it was really about the emotional connection I had with her. And
the attention,
Once again, I got laid off from my job. I'm moving across the country to a place where I know nobody. I have been feeling such weight and pressure to provide for my family as the sole provider because my wife was a stay-at-home mom. And I needed help. Like I needed somebody to speak life into me. I needed somebody to encourage me. I needed somebody to give me, I needed emotional support. Right. That's what I needed. And she gave me that. In the 2 weeks I was kicking it with her while she was in town for work. And I was here, going to work and looking at houses, I was talking and seeing her. And so for me, the emotional affair and why I think it hurt my ex-wife so much is because I wasn't emotional with her. I didn't express my feelings, my thoughts, my fears with her. So she probably felt like, well, you never gave me that emotional energy, but you're going to give it to a stranger? And maybe she probably felt like, I would rather you just fuck her than to feel an emotional bond with her. And you don't do that with me as your wife, the mother of your kids. But man, that girl for 2 weeks, man, she was, my ex-wife would probably say she was a demon from hell.
Of course.
To me, she was an angel from heaven. She gave me what I needed.
Because she was what you needed at that time.
At that time.
Yeah.
Look, I admit my wrongdoing, but I don't regret what I did at all. It was an act of self-preservation. I needed to take care of myself. I'm not going to deny a part of myself that I need to feel just because my wife isn't doing her job. Yeah. I still have a responsibility to myself. And that's how I felt in that moment. It's like, I'm going to feel this emotional void, whether it's you or somebody else.
Yeah. So do you think that men cheat out of just random opportunity? Like a boys' trip, the opportunity presents itself. She's not going to find out. Let me just hit a couple.
I'm not going to say no, but I don't think that's the main reason why infidelity happens from a guy's perspective in a marriage, in a relationship. I think a lot of times when guys do step outside of their relationship and entertain the physicality or emotions of another woman, it's because he doesn't respect her, he doesn't love her, or there's some type of
some disconnect.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Sexually, financially, something.
Emotionally, yeah.
It's not just like, hey, I'm in a happy marriage, my wife is doing all the things, she's wonderful, she's excellent, and I go on a boys' trip with my guys, and we go to the DR, and I just fuck on something. Like, those guys probably aren't doing it. They're probably not even going to put themselves in that position.
Right.
Because everything's so good at home, and he's going to protect his peace.
Right.
He has peace at home. But when a man doesn't have peace at home, he's probably going to start some chaos.
That's good insight.
Yeah.
Very good insight.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, but there's different types of cheating, right? So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. What do you think is cheating? Is it exclusive to a physical sexual encounter, or do you think it can be other stuff?
So I believe the most harmful part of cheating for a woman is the emotional, whereas for a man is the physical. Because with a man, but the funny thing is that the most dangerous one is the emotional one, because there has been a connection that has been built on emotion. And women we are emotional creatures. We navigate on emotion because that's how we are wired. Whereas men are more navigated towards physicality.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think the emotional is probably the most dangerous because there's that emotional connection that needs to be dissolved.
What is an emotional affair? How would you describe it or define it?
I think if you are having a deep-rooted conversation with somebody about something that you can't talk to your partner about, that's that's it right there. Mm-hmm. You're already cheating.
Yeah.
Because your partner is supposed to be the person that you go to for everything. When you're sad, when you're mad, when you're angry, whatever it is. But if you're seeking validation or you're seeking understanding from somebody else, that's a problem.
So let's say somebody's in a marriage or a relationship and they have a work wife or a work husband.
Yeah, that's cheating.
That's cheating. They go out to lunch together.
And they're talking about your problems and your issues, for sure. That's cheating. Because now you've opened that door.
Yeah.
You've opened that door and the door is left open.
Yeah.
So if things pop off at home, get who you think they're running to. Think about it. And it goes the same way, right?
Yeah.
So don't have a 9-to-5.
Which is a great conversation for our digital products.
Right.
Check out our Stand store.
Right.
But no, that's very good because the workplace is kind of like the gym. It's one of those places you frequent all the time. You get to see the same people. And one way or another, you develop a connection with somebody just from being there at the same time all the time.
Like we spend most of our time at the gym.
Yeah.
Right? So people talk about, gym crushes all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see my gym crush today. I didn't see, but you guys have a common ground of fitness and health. And so it might not be at work, but it could be at the gym, or pickleball, tennis club, whatever
anywhere
it is.
You frequent.
Anywhere you frequent.
Yeah.
It could be the park.
So you definitely think the emotional affair is worse from a woman's perspective than a sexual affair.
Yes.
I definitely would say sexual is worse.
Because of a man. But see, for a woman, a man can have a physical interaction with the woman and not feel anything for this woman. Mm-hmm. You could look at a woman and be like, gosh, she bad. I'm going to fuck her. And then you do, but you know nothing about her. But us women, we don't navigate like that. Us women, we're like, God, he's a good provider. He listens to me. He this. So do you see how she's already building roots with somebody else? Yeah. And that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when women cheat, they cheat with somebody that they start a relationship with. Like if we talk to divorced men of their wives that cheated, most of those women are probably still with that person.
But you see, to me, the opposite resonates harder from the physical side, because I'm like, man, if my girl can just go outside and fuck on a random dude off of nothing is safe.
But that's the thing.
Nothing's
She's
safe.
Not fucking on a random dude off of nothing.
She probably felt some type of way emotionally, but she just picked a rando going out.
Possibly.
That's crazy.
Possibly.
Yo.
But I think,
that hurts.
but you know, in a man's perspective, I also think there's power and there's ownership there. Like, this is your woman. Mm-hmm. Nobody touches her but me. Mm-hmm. And she's spreading them out for somebody else. That's supposed to be mine, right?
Exactly.
And then that goes back to the innate male figure of, like, if we think about animals, the males fight over the females in the wild. Mm-hmm. So they're literally fighting for it, you know, to procreate with them. So, I mean, you guys were hardwired like that. So, yeah, for me, in my marriage, I wish he would have told me, yo, I fucked the barista and got her pregnant. I would have been like, cool. I would have been way better off with that than what he told me.
Really?
Yeah, because he lied to me for 10 years and it was my entire marriage was fraudulent.
Yeah.
That hurt more than if he would have been like, hey, I saw this cute girl. She threw it and I fucked it, you know?
Now, we're all familiar with a sexual affair, right? Having a physical relationship, romantic relationship with somebody that's not your partner. We don't really have to define that too much.
Of course.
But there's another one that's the gray area, which is a cyber affair.
Yes.
So let's talk about that, because this is such a gray area. And I kind of feel like some things are cheating and some things aren't. I think it kind of depends on your level of security.
Right. Level of security and really what you discuss, right?
Exactly.
This is another thing that needs to be discussed, like an expectation almost.
So let's define, what is a cyber affair?
So I see it as the likes and the comments, I see it as kind of not that detrimental, because it's just like a little like. I mean, I wish they would have had like a thumbs up. Like, a thumbs up is better than a little heart. You get what I'm saying? Like, what's the definition behind it?
Yeah.
Right? Or like little hearts emoji, or, damn you bad, Do
you remember when you used to be able to see what somebody would like?
Oh, that? Yeah. Oh, that was.
I'm so glad they got rid of that. Shout out to Meta.
Yeah, but Fashion Nova just had done like a really funny skit on that where the girl was like, do you like this? I'm going to buy this lingerie set. And he was like, no, I don't like it. And she's like, well, you like that on the model. So I was.
He don't like it on her.
Yeah. So I was like, ooh, I see you, Fashion Nova.
That, social media was always a pain in my marriage. And because my ex-wife did not like me liking like pictures of certain women.
But she also didn't like you being on Instagram.
She didn't like me being on it, like posting without her. Like, if I posted a selfie or me by myself, she would be like, well, you haven't posted me. How can you didn't post me?
That's like stage 3
and
insecurity.
I was like, what? And then, like, if I liked like girls' pictures, maybe it wasn't even a thirst trap. Like, I just like Kim Kardashian's picture.
Okay.
She would like be upset about it. Oh. And she would like go and like watch and see what I liked. So then I learned to protect my peace. I was like, you know what? I'm going to like it without liking it. I'm going to sit here and admire it on my screen. I just won't put my name on it, but I'll still like it in my heart.
I mean, of course you're liking it because you're looking at it, right?
I just think it's wild
that's interesting.
That girls really go through somebody's followers and see like how many pretty girls you follow. Do you like these type of posts?
Insecurity.
Like, that's really insecurity. And I guess to some people it's cheating, and maybe it's cheating because you're working with a cheater who you've forgiven the offense and you don't trust them.
Possibly.
And so now they're doing these things on social media.
Or you're just dragging shit from your last relationship and your past experiences. Yeah.
Nonetheless, I feel like that's a security issue.
For sure.
Either you need to leave that relationship because it's toxic and it's unhealthy and there's a pattern of, I guess, disrespect and lovelessness, or you're not secure in yourself as a person and it bothers you that the person you're with gives a fraction of attention to a post.
Or validation, right?
Yes.
So it could be whatever, right? And, I was dating a guy who had a problem with me following so many fitness influencers, of course. And he had a problem with spending so much time at the gym. He's like, well, what are you doing at the gym for, was it leg day today? And I was like, it was definitely leg day.
Did he go to the gym?
He did go to the gym, but not at the level that I was going to the gym.
Okay.
And he looked like the aesthetic that I date.
Yeah.
But he was very insecure. He didn't like what I was posting. And I don't think I post thirst traps. I mean, I do squat and you see some stuff.
12% of the time you post
12% of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm also running a business. And I remember he had a problem. And this is let's talk business, right? You make more business and you sell more when you appear single, right? 100%. 100%. And, I sell books and audibles and digital products and all types of stuff. And I remember he would always want to be posted. And I think this is another great conversation when the girls are posting, but then, you don't show who you're with at dinner. I mean, are you alone, girl? Sometimes I am alone. I am.
Sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't.
Right. And then sometimes you'll see some fingers. Sometimes you'll see, something, but you won't actually see the guy. So
all that is so funny.
But for a man, does that hurt a little bit that your girl wouldn't want to show you off?
No.
Right?
To me, once again, this is a security thing. And it kind of depends on like how you establish your relationship with each other.
Right.
If it's built on like a bad foundation of lies and dishonesty and infidelity, then yeah, that could be an issue. I could see that. But for me, like, I don't have a problem with my girl not posting me, like, or doing it in a sneaky way. Like maybe she just posts our shadows. Like we're together and it's a picture of our shadows.
Yeah, because what you guys have is nobody else's business but your own. I agree, 100%.
It doesn't have to be, sometimes I feel like with social media, we feel like we need to post everything about our lives and share it with the whole world. Right. Just because a relationship is private doesn't mean that it's secret. There's a difference between secret and private. So I believe that you don't have to go fully public with your relationship. You should keep some certain parts of your relationship private. But it being a secret, I mean, that's up to you, but that's kind of the other end of the spectrum too.
I agree 100%. And also, a lot of women are insecure for whatever reason it is. And we see it more with women. I think guys show insecurity differently.
Agreed.
And then that's when we get into the alpha, beta, sigma, right?
Yes.
And I think for women, if you are not secure and confident in yourself, date at your level. Because I've always been told, like some of my friends, I could never date the guys that you date because they're so good looking, they're so successful. Every girl's going to want to take him from you. And then I always say, like, well, what's meant to be mine will be mine. What's not meant to be yours, it won't be yours.
Yeah.
Like,
and it goes the same for guys on the other end. Like, guys should date within their level, in their league. And it's like, you want the baddest chick out there, but you're probably not secure enough as a man to handle the type of attention she gets. Or you don't have a big enough bag to afford how she likes to live and be spoiled and treated. So now you're making it a her problem when really you outside your league, bro. Right. You're not ready for this type of woman.
Because if I would have said that, everybody would have said, she crazy.
No, that's facts. Like there's levels to this on both ends of the spectrum. So it's like, if your bank account is not at a certain level to not just attract, but afford a certain woman, stay in your league. If you're a guy that you feel some type of way about your look, your image, your body, but you want the baddest chick out there, and that's a problem, you don't like how she dresses, what she wears, whatever she's doing, stay in your league.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the 8, 9s, and 10s. Stay with the 4, 5s, and 6s, my boy.
Right. And that's funny because my friend said, she asked me, what are the 2 things that you ask a guy when they approach you? And she said, do you ask them their credit score and how many zeros they have in a bank account? She was joking, but that's where she was, she was going for was like, what type of people are you dating?
Yeah.
You're not going to date a guy that's sitting on the couch eating Tostitos all freaking day.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not. But compatibility is a big thing. And I think really goes back to cheating as well. When we're incompatible with a person and our personalities aren't in sync, I think you have the foundations of disconnect, which leads to maybe stepping out in some situations.
Right.
So we talked about this before. How would you describe yourself? An alpha woman, a beta woman?
I'm definitely an alpha woman. And I think differently, right? I take care of bills. I take care of my children. I don't really look for a man for financial backing because I don't really need to. I look for a man to build and to grow. And I think it's very different. Like when people say, oh, what is he paying for? I'm like, what do you mean what he's paying for? I've never had a man protect and provide for me, even my husband. We always went 50-50 on everything.
Really? So, do you feel like you go for more of an alpha male being an alpha woman?
I have to. I have to go for an alpha male because
how's that working for you?
Well, so here's the thing, okay? And I'm going to say this because I want to be truthful about it.
Of course.
The more success that you have as a woman, financially, your dating pool becomes scarcer. Because I don't want to date somebody that makes less than me because what can that person teach me? I want somebody to come in and say, hey, I can teach you the crypto. I can teach you this. I can teach you digital marketing. Whatever it is that this man's going to teach me, I want an asset, not a liability. Why would I take a man that's just going to give me more on my plate?
What if he's just not there yet? Like he has the ambition, he has the plan, the vision for it, but he's just not there.
No, because, and this goes again to being a divorced mother of two.
Okay.
Now, if I was younger and I didn't have children and I didn't have a prior relationship or experience, then yes, I agree with that. Where let's get you where you need to be, right? But I need energy. For me, I need to see that you're bringing energy that's going to elevate me. And I say that because I was with a man for 10 years that did not elevate me, that did not help me thrive. And in fact, was stunting my growth because as soon as I left him, I built a 3-industry empire.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, not only did I marry wrong, but I married the wrong type of man.
Yeah.
Like I want a man to come in and be like, I'm going to handle shit. I'm going to take care of it. You go sit down and put your feet up. And then me be in the energy that I'm like, wow, I do believe in his words. I do believe in his actions. And I see his conviction and dedication. Here are the keys. Go ahead. Do your thing.
So you, as an alpha woman, there is a level of submissiveness to you would say.
For sure.
But you just haven't met a guy that would take the initiative and lead you to where you want to submit to his leadership.
I have met some, but they're
missing other parts.
I wouldn't say they're missing other parts because I have met a couple that I would commit to and that I would build with. They're just not here. They don't belong. They're not in Houston.
I told you this.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
Dating in Houston,
they're like
in
the
big
Midwest and the East Coast.
I've been telling you that you need a guy from the Midwest because the values in Midwestern cities and smaller towns are totally different than in the big city. People's priorities, perspectives, and values are different.
Right.
So a lot of times when I hear people saying like, oh, dating in Houston is so trash, or dating in Dallas, Miami, all these big cities, it's because there's a societal standard, a societal value, and a difference in how we look at each other, relationships, and family. And we want all the traditional, conventional parts of relationship.
Right.
But in big cities, that's not what our life is about here. It's about the hustle. It's about status. It's about superficial things.
Yeah, for sure.
Where we drive, where we live, how we look, how we dress. But back in Indiana, it was never about that.
That wasn't an issue, right?
It didn't matter if you drove a Mitsubishi or a Mercedes.
What's a Mitsubishi?
Exactly. You don't even know. That's crazy. Yo, send us a guy from Ohio, boys from Detroit, from Michigan,
my
Illinois.
Ohio boy. He knows who he is.
All the niggas in Arkansas and Iowa, hit up Angelica, please. Send her some Midwestern love.
Yeah. And some flowers.
The Houston dude's not doing it right. But, I say that there's alpha male, right? He's the dominant personality. He walks in a room. He commands authority off the bat. You know what I mean? But a lot of times I feel like alpha men lack in emotional intelligence. is probably where they fumble. Like they probably aren't very sensitive to a woman, don't know how to lead her emotionally, manage her emotions, all the types of things.
And I like what you said, lead emotionally, because they say lead is like come in and take over shit. Like, no, there's a way to lead emotionally.
There is. Yeah. And you cultivate that and you set a standard with that. But I think alpha men are great at a lot of things as far as leadership personalities go, but then they probably lack in the relational category. And this is general. This is not specific to individuals. There's beta boys.
Of course.
Right? These are your passive guys. They take instructions. They're not the leader. They're probably not good at making decisions, taking initiative. But these are probably compatible guys with alpha women because you are more dominant. You are more take charge. And if you have somebody that needs instruction and needs order, I know it doesn't excite you, but from a functionality standpoint, is probably a mix. But where he will probably be a fit relationally for you, as far as like being in sync,
but not business.
He probably wouldn't have the leadership that you want, and you would not look at him as a man. Probably you would probably see him as weak, timid, soft.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being a beta boy.
I would look at him as a child.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Like you have to take care of him.
Right.
And he's not being a man and stepping up.
Right.
The third personality type is a Sigma guy. A Sigma man is a hybrid of beta and alpha, but it's more like passive aggressive. So he can make decisions, he can take charge, he can lead, but his leadership style is more collaborative. So
I need a Sigma.
You need a Sigma from the Midwest.
Send your application.
Sigma males in St. Louis, hit her up.
St. Louis.
So Sigma guys, their leadership style is like servant leadership. And so it's like, hey, as a man, I'm really good at these things and I'm going to handle this for you. Don't worry about that. But he can also probably say is, okay, my woman is good at these other things.
Yes.
And I'm going to let her take the lead on that.
Yes.
And I'm going to play second person to her strengths. So whereas the alpha is like, I'm always one, and the beta's, I'm always two.
Yes.
The Sigma is, I'm 1A and 1B.
Right.
And so, but a lot of times when we're looking at compatibility, we're not looking at personality. We're looking at credit scores. We're looking at salaries. We're looking at all the weird icks, what type of music they like, car they drive, things that don't really matter.
Right.
But compatibility in relationship has a lot to do with avoiding infidelity.
Right.
It's having a synergy with the right person to begin with.
I agree. Yeah.
For sure. So then do you think that we're meant to be with one person?
I think if you choose to be with one person, that's a personal choice. I do believe that we have more than one soulmate, if you want to call it that, or more than one person that you can be highly compatible with and build a future with. So yes and no. So depending on if you are about monogamy or not.
Do you think historically human beings have been monogamous in their relationships?
No, not at all.
What do you think historically has been the norm?
I think historically everybody was definitely not monogamous and had several partners even within their marriages. I mean, we talk about like hierarchy, right? We talk about that. The king always had the little, what they call them? The maids?
The concubines?
The concubines, yeah. And it was, and then they would get pregnant. They would get pregnant, and then the kids would grow up in the kingdom.
For sure.
Right? But it wasn't the kings or like the prince or princesses. So it was, I think it was just more societal there. It was more understood, right? It's something that was happening. Or if you look back to the Greeks, you know, they were having sex with children and they were doing all types of crazy stuff. So no, I think we fell into a civilized society norm of being in monogamous relationships.
I agree. I think that came through European colonization through the Catholic Church and pressing upon a new standard of monogamy in culture through colonization. But I think historically, people have been multiple relationships. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think in like the year 1142 that a guy was married to a woman, they separated, and then he would ride on his horse to her little home, her little hut, and pick up his kids for the weekend.
Not at all. Not at all.
Put them back on a horse and drop them off on Sunday.
Not at all.
It didn't work like that.
Right. That's a great analogy, right?
You know, our relationship structures now are very new to how we practice relationship and family historically as a human race, I think. And I think that's a lot of the struggle we probably have around conversations now between like, oh, you're supposed to be faithful, you're only supposed to be with me, because we have a permanent mindset of relationship.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then do you think that poly is right or more right? Not that one is wrong, but do you think it's more right or more natural? And is that why you think men cheat? Because
possibly. I think so I look at it deeper, right? Honesty.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a certain type of relationship and you want a certain dynamic of relationship, it needs to be discussed. You know, like say what you want.
Yeah.
You know, say what you want and do what you want, but discuss it. You know, I have no problem with open relationships, poly relationships. I was in a monogamous relationship for 10 years. And I've tried other things too, because I was like, well, let me see what this is like. Let me see what this is like. But I also worked on myself to be able to handle that type of relationship.
That's important.
Yes.
That's important.
Because it's not for everybody.
It's not. Would you be in a poly relationship?
Yeah. I mean, why not?
What if you were the side chick though? Like, what if you weren't like the main chick?
That would never happen.
But what if you were? Like,
there's no way.
Let's just say hypothetically.
I mean, then that would never happen. Like, that doesn't exist in my world.
So you do it, but main chick.
I don't think I would be another chick. I think it would be me and like 2 other guys.
So you would have brother husbands.
Yeah, I would have. Why not? You know,
you're such an alpha woman.
I mean, why not?
You're such an alpha woman.
I don't want to deal with another girl and her insecurity and her BS. And that's
what you're there for, to help with that.
No, he can deal with her later. Like, no.
That's hilarious.
I mean, why not? Why can't I have like 2 bros that are like boys and then we just all, why not? It could work.
Hey, some women have that. I hope you find 2 or 3 bros.
Thank you, Lyndon.
Get you some brother husbands.
Husbands.
From the Midwest. Please send your applications to her
with
DMs.
7 figures.
With 7 figures. Anything else?
And a set of abs, yeah.
Okay.
Chocolate abs, please.
That's hilarious. See, I don't think I could do a poly relationship from this sense of like having like multiple wives.
It's a lot.
But
it's hard to have one.
I've always said that like if I hit a certain income threshold, I'm taking the Nick Cannon route.
Yeah, and there should not be anything wrong with that.
More kids with multiple women,
right? And there should be nothing wrong with that. If you have the financial stability, why not? Now, you also have to find the women that would be cool with that, which they're out there. They're totally out there, but I can already hear the girls, oh my God, he's such a hoe, or oh my gosh, he's such a hoe. But we're keeping it real.
It's not even about just like reproducing with a bunch of women. That's not what it's about. To me, like I love being a dad.
Yeah.
I believe I was created to be a dad. And I've always wanted a lot of kids.
A lot of different mixed babies. Why not?
So in my head, like, man, I would love to have like little Lyndons of different races.
Yeah.
We need a little.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 15.
Yeah.
Like 15
I mean,
kids.
you got it. Go for it.
I got the Puerto Rican ones. We got to get Honduran. We got to get Colombian, Korean, Filipino, Australian, Italian.
Why not? Yeah.
We're going to do it all. That's hilarious. So let's share some stories.
Okay.
Some people from Instagram sent us stories of like kind of like their sexual experiences. Someone sent me one asking if this is cheating, in fact. So we want to share these and get reactions.
Yeah, these are good.
Before we get into that, in the spirit of our conversation, one of the things that we do have available in our Stand store is a glow up guide.
Yes.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Yes. So our glow up guide kind of was curated and was formulated based on the therapy that Lyndon and I went through in our respective divorces, the deep rooted work that we did based on how we overcame our divorces and what it did to us mentally, physically, and emotionally. So it's really a full-blown glow up guide, really working with your mindset, your body, and your soul.
Yes. And cheating is one of those things that it's a deep wound. And it's probably a wound that will probably never really heal fully. You're probably not the same person after you've been cheated on that you were before. And so we wanted to provide something to help people with so that they can elevate to be the best version of themselves after you experience something like infidelity.
Right.
And
or
so
divorce.
Or divorce as well.
Right.
And so many other traumas we experience in our relationship.
Right.
So
yeah. And it's not specifically just for people that have been through divorce. It's really for somebody that has been through loss. So when you have loss in your life, you go through a series of emotional turmoil. So yeah.
So be sure to go to our Instagram, check out the link in our bio, and go to our stand store. It is the Glow Up Guide.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Let's share these stories. Let's get into that.
You guys are serious hoes out there. Okay. I love it. I'm here for it. This is good stuff. Okay. So I had to name these because they were so juicy. So let's see. We're going to go with, we're going to go with this one first and then we'll do the other one. Okay. So I named this one High and Drunk. So this was from a girl. She said, I met a guy on Hinge and he was very clear with his intentions that we were just going to fuck. So she said, okay, I'm good with it as long as the dick is good. Okay, girl. So one day he said, we're going to drink and smoke. Let's take it up a notch. So he asked me to bring some of my toys, AKA dildos. So I did. Long story short, we were deep into it. He asked me to fuck him in the ass.
Oh, snap.
With my dildo. Okay, girl. Me, a little hesitant, was like, okay, turn around. I'm very sexually open and I wanted to please him. Let me tell you, he was loving it so much. I didn't say anything, but the next day I asked him if he was gay or bisexual.
Okay.
He said no.
Liar.
He said he just likes to be overpowered. I wasn't convinced. That booty call ended quick.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, first off, it sounded like she enjoyed fucking him down a little too much. She told him to turn over.
Turn around. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo.
So
Talk
he
about
took
alpha
it.
woman, beta male.
He took it. He took it.
He took the D.
Yeah. So, okay.
Damn, my boy.
Yeah. So that was that. All right.
You got to be real with himself. That's the, you got to be real with yourself. There's nothing wrong with being gay or bi.
For sure. But, if you want your partner of the opposite sex to do something to you with she don't have the equipment, right? But she had a dildo and he liked it. I mean, maybe there is some guys that are not gay that like it up the ass.
He might not be gay in the sense that he's attracted to men per se, but he might be in the sense of his sexual expression.
Okay.
Of what he likes to receive, which is different.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Yeah. That's very smart. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, you're not putting no dildo on me, I'll tell you that. I'm not the type.
It's only an exit.
Listen, I tell who to turn around. Don't nobody tell me turn around. I'll tell you that.
Linda's a Sigma, by the way. For those that are wondering. Right?
I am.
Self-proclaimed.
I am a Sigma.
Okay.
I am. Yes.
Okay, let's hear one of yours.
Okay. So this one is from a guy. He gave me his alias name, Marcus.
Okay.
It's from Marcus. He said, tell me if this is cheating.
Okay.
He said, I went on a date with a girl. We went out for dinner and we had a great time. After dinner, she took me to a bar. He said, after the bar, we had a couple of drinks. So we really started to feel each other and loosen up. Mind you, this is a first date. After the bar, she took me to an after-hour spot. The after-hour spot is not your usual type of lounge. Mm-hmm. This was a swingers club. I had only been here once before, but I never experienced it like this. We go upstairs and we find us a section. We're sitting down at
Sounds like the blue door.
We're sitting down at the section and I go downstairs to get us drinks, but I have to use the restroom. While I'm in line at the restroom, I meet a young woman. I say hi to her. She says hi back. That was it. I go back upstairs to my date. We have more drinks. As I'm looking around, people are having sex on the couches around us. I look in front of me, a guy is getting head. The guy behind me is fucking his girl. I'm getting turned on by this. I look at my date. I wonder if she wants the same, but she's not giving me that energy. He said he had to use the restroom, so he went back downstairs. While he's in line for the restroom, the girl he said hi to came up to me. She asked where I was going. I told her I'm going to the restroom. I told her to come with me. She comes. We go in the bathroom. We chit-chat for a little bit. Next thing I know, she's giving me head in the bathroom. My date is still upstairs.
Oh, wow.
I fuck her, and I go back to my date. My date said, he said, my date said, what took you so long? I said, there was a line in the bathroom.
There definitely was.
Do you think I cheated on my date?
No. I mean, I'm sure she wouldn't have liked it, right? But you guys were in an exclusive relationship. There was no understanding.
You know what I think is wild about his story?
You're at a swingers club that she took you to.
What if he came out the bathroom with the girl and his date was in line in the bathroom? What would he have done?
Damn. I mean, I'm sure she would have been like, what were you doing in there with her? Right. And then at that point, he would have to be like, she was helping me tie my shoe.
And she probably would have got mad like they were cheating.
Yeah.
Is it cheating on a first date? Because he said it was a first date.
It can't be cheating on so this is another thing about cheating. Cheating becomes cheating when there is a understanding that you're not going to cheat. If you are in a monogamous, committed relationship, and that was one of the things you discussed, because you could be in a monogamous or you could be in a relationship with an open relationship where cheating is allowed. But if that broke one of the rules of engagement.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But there are no rules of engagement on a first date.
There are no rules of engagement on the first date. I agree.
I don't think he cheated, my boy.
I don't think he cheated either.
I don't think he cheated. When you wildin'.
I think he got an opportunity and he took it.
He was wildin'.
And he got out and he was keen to clear.
High risk.
High risk.
High reward.
High risk, high reward. Instant gratification for sure. Yeah, that's a crazy one. But
I know, right?
That sounds like the Blue Door. So you all want to go swapping Blue Door.
Or the Swingers Club.
Or the Swingers Club.
There's the other one up in Spring.
There's a Swingers Club, yes, in Spring, which we haven't hit up yet, but we're trying to get a poly couple. So if you are a poly couple and you're out there and you want to come share your experiences on a deeper level of emotional intelligence, of how that dynamic works, hit us up.
Please do. You have another story?
This is a great one. Okay, this girl... I need to meet this girl because this girl got it going on. Okay, so we named this Threesome Fun. So yeah, this is from a girl too. Okay, so she says, I dated a guy who asked me to fuck him and his best friend. I was so confused and wondered if it was a trick question. He said he enjoyed watching his woman get fucked by his best friend. So this was not like their first rodeo. I asked him, what if I like the best friend more? He said, you won't. It will be fun, he said. So essentially, I did it. So it was a threesome, but they never touched each other. I was the main attraction. Then she said, I can't lie, it was fun as hell. And the best friend was a lot better, but I never thought I would enjoy it as much as I did. 2 men and me. It happened 4 times and no jealous feelings, no bad blood between them. I guess this is what they were into. A big happy triangle. Yeah, but you know, when we talk about threesomes, it's always the men's like fantasy to have 2 beautiful women.
Who doesn't want
right? But
2 women fucking
you
on
never think about having like 2 beautiful men and a woman, right?
She probably felt empowered.
No double standards, right? But
shout out to her for taking double dick.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Yeah, girl, I'm gonna hit you up. But that was it. Do you have another one?
I don't. That's the only one I had.
That was a good
That's
one.
the only
Those
one
are
I
good.
had come in.
And we had so many come in, so we had to pick the raunchiest ones. But we had a lot. And if you have some, keep sending them in because they're good.
And you can send them to us anonymously too. So don't feel like you got to expose yourself if you don't feel comfortable. But we want to share your stories.
Yeah.
These are lit. Well, any closing remarks?
So closing remarks, cheating is a problem. It's there. We have to be able to navigate it and we have to be aware of it. So my real closing remark is whenever you do get into any type of relationship and you decide to take it to a physical level, always discuss likes, wants, and expectations. What do you expect? What do you want? And what do you not want? Because I think it gets lost in translation. So.
And what about forgiveness?
So for me, forgiveness is very important, right? I think forgiveness starts with self. You have to forgive yourself for forgiving others, for hurting you. You don't necessarily have to forgive the other person, but really forgive yourself for having the power and the growth to be able to forgive the person that hurt you. So
I agree. I love that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation today. Continue to be part of our conversation. Engage with us on socials. Follow us on all platforms and tune in to more at CCN Network.